everybody. Welcome to episode 59 of Two Guys, Zero Planners, brought to you by, well, us. So today is going to be a little bit of a quick day, Urban, so let's have some fun, get through some topics, and see what is going on in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
I mean, first and foremost, it's my fault for rushing everything. I have a civic duty to go do, so yay, voting. Mm-hmm. That should also tell you when we're recording this. This is right before the 2024 presidential election. Yay. Yeah. I guess first things first, there was a topic a couple months ago that we were going to discuss. Mm-hmm. And I guess it kind of has... It still hasn't resolved itself because the parties really never came out with a good excuse for why they're doing what they're doing. And yes, we're talking about the Goulet pen kerfuffle.
That's what you get when you mix, I don't know, politics / religion and everything with your business, I guess. It's more of
the religion thing. I mean, politically, the fountain pen community politically is pretty diverse. I've met quite a few people on both sides of the aisle. And for the most part, they are sane people that don't sit there and join churches that say being non-heterosexual is equal to murder. And I still don't get that. How can you be... That's the part that still rubs me the wrong way months later. How can you be committed to being a head of a church, and being in the music department in a church is being part of the head of a church? Mm-hmm. How can you do that? Run a company that is supposed to embrace every walk of life and justify that with yourself. How are you able to mentally justify that? I just can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, it's I don't know what to say. It is really weird, yeah. And then I guess they have to deal with the fallout of it.
I guess really the only thing I can say to it, except for the fact that I'm completely bewildered, perplexed, and kind of just sitting there going, WTF, guys, is we're all human. At the end of the day, we're all human. If we don't love each other and if we don't treat each other with respect, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah, it's probably the best way to put it.
Yes.
So that's our take on the Goulet thing. Sorry we're a couple months late, but life has happened to both of us. Exactly. Yeah. So I'll let you do some talking here, Urban. Yes. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some stuff with you.
Yes, let's take the next one from the list. So, non-stationary topic, how I once recently fixed a washing machine with a hot glue gun and chewing gum packaging. So I've been really MacGyvering it, which is actually, it was a fun story. So I don't know about your washing machine, but ours has this... part you can unscrew to access the pump, right? Where the pump pumps out the water, right? Yeah. Sometimes stuff gets stuck in there. And that happens a lot when you wash a lot of guinea pig stuff with a lot of hay in it. And I'm lazy. So sometimes there's so much stuff in there that the pump doesn't function properly anymore. And if I then try to unscrew this, which is the plastic part, then just bits keep snapping off because it's just stuck. And then it was so stuck that I actually had to destroy that piece. Like it's like a plug that you sort of have to unscrew. So I had to really put a hole in the middle of it and get all the hay and all the hair out through that tiny hole. And then I could unscrew the rest. But obviously then I had a washing that was half finished and a giant hole in my washing machine. So
those don't work together.
I mean, I found the part, right? It wasn't too expensive, but it would take, I don't know, it was on the weekend. It would take a few days to arrive. So I thought, okay, that's annoying. And I would like to at least finish that wash. So then I stole the hot glue gun from my daughter and some chewing gum packaging, so not the strips, but it's like a small box which made out of plastic. And I cut out a few pieces, and then I sort of glued them onto that broken plug thing, and I screwed it back in, and then I could at least finish that washing. So that was my fun story.
That is definitely some MacGyvering. See, with me, since I live in an apartment complex, if anything happens to my washer, I just go, hey, maintenance, come fix it. And since it's a washing machine that's hooked up to the water line, it's considered an emergency repair and it gets put to the top of the list.
Okay.
Which is amazing. I don't think it would just be one screw to get to that equipment on our washing machines, though. It'd be like 5 or 6. And the way that my washing machine is made, because it's one of those front loaders, I would have to unbolt it from the floor first to move it forward to get to those screws to get to the pump.
Okay. No, it's like, I mean, you usually have to do maintenance once in a while anyway, because stuff just gets stuck in that place. But
probably, except for the fact that maybe I'm just weird. Maybe I'm just completely weird, and I'm willing to admit that. There's no way to say this without just looking like a madman. I pre-rinse the dirtier items in my kitchen sink and then put them in the washer. So, like, if there's any heavy dirt or anything like that, it goes down the sink where I can immediately kick it into the garbage disposal, which you're not supposed to do. Don't learn your lessons from me, people. And I take care of it that way. So, yeah. I'm weird. I admit that.
It's just too much work, right? I mean, because we have so many guinea pigs things. So now I'm trying to be better, and every time we've washed all their stuff, I'm going to clean out there. And it's like, I did that a few times and there was nothing, and then you leave it for a bit, and then suddenly it's completely stuck. So it's always a bit annoying. But I guess that's how it happens. Luckily, it was only a €25 piece that I had to replace.
Right. So I guess big question, how are the guinea pigs doing?
All 11 are still fine.
What?
Yeah.
Was it 11 last time I asked about the guinea pigs?
Oh, probably, yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, that number seems higher than the last time we talked about them.
I don't know. Maybe. But two of them are as sort of considered seniors already. They're like 4 years old. And then we'll see. Maybe the number will go down eventually.
It'll go down just long enough to skyrocket again.
No. Now we've learned to keep them separate. But yeah.
Oh, one of these podcasts, we're going to sit there and talk about the guinea pigs, and you're just going to say, all 58 of them are doing fine. And it's just going to be like, wait, what?
No. Today's discussion was about, I don't know how we got there, about how we would deal if everything breaks down. And then there was the idea, we have the guinea pigs, they can reproduce like crazy, and then we can eat those or something. But not sure that would be top of our list if everything broke down. But yeah.
I mean, if it came down to it and I had to, I could probably survive off of that.
Yeah, I mean, currently they're living indoors, so that, I don't know. Imagine there's no, I don't know. But
no, let's not think about that. Let's think about something a little bit more real, though, that is kind of sad. Bank paper.
Yeah, apparently all the big paper manufacturers actually have problems, and the big item that is actually selling for them is packaging and not paper for writing on it, obviously. I mean, and I heard that from Daryl from Musubi in the Pen Addict Slack, that bank paper and I think speaker bond are actually discontinued. Yeah.
I like bank paper. Now, when I was doing the ink reviews and the pen reviews, I mean, obviously I was using Tomoe River because you're gonna get the best color out of an ink if you use that paper. Also, it'll show you very clearly if you have a nib that is just having all kinds of problems. Because if it can't write on Tomoe, it's doing it wrong.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
For my journals, bank paper, until Phil introduced me to Midori Cotton, bank paper was my go-to. even though I'm writing with fountain pens and even though I'm using gold nibs and you're supposed to have a smooth experience, I liked the tooth and the heavier feel that bank paper gave me. So that's definitely something I'm going to miss. I do have 3 blank notebooks in my cabinet that are all bank paper. And yeah, now I have to treat them like they are a relic of the early era.
Yeah, although it's not super surprising that it's been discontinued, right? Because it was always more expensive than basically anything else.
That is true. I wish stuff like that was easier for smaller niche companies to pick up and run with it. Like in the camera industry, you've got smaller companies that are making older formulas of 35 millimeter film.
Yeah.
I wish the pen community had some type of smaller company that could find the exact pulp combinations or sourcing combinations that are used to make that type of paper and continue to make it somehow. That would be amazing.
I mean, but on the other hand, this is such a hard topic, right? Because even when the company that made Tomorrow River paper moved production from one machine to another, there was a
huge difference. Yeah.
So it's like, just imagine someone else doing it, and then you've developed a completely new paper, I guess.
If you can get a paper that is close enough to the spirit of bank paper, then I think enough of the community would forgive you that it would essentially become what the whole conversation of Tomoe became. Of, okay, it's not the same. Sure, there's differences. Sure, I like the old stuff, but the new stuff is actually really good.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm also...
Yeah.
That's kind of my head canon that people thought the new Tomoe was good, but hey.
Yeah, never tried it myself either, but apparently. Apart from that one batch in whatever, Hobonichi 5 years journal status. Not good. Yeah, now that makes me want to get one of the Midori notebooks, the non-cotton ones, because they're also, from a feel perspective at least, they're kind of similar. The color is a bit annoying. It's so non-white, but...
let's see. Stationery, endless. They haven't changed their... Oh, they're using their own paper now, I think. Their Regalia paper.
Yeah, which... I have a pad of that, which is like... That's Cosmo Air Light levels of problems with hand oils.
Ew.
Plus, if you add too much ink, it just feathers like crazy. So...
Good to know.
Under certain circumstances, it's fine, but not outside of that.
Okay, definitely good to know. Yeah, the thing I was looking at was to see if they still even offered TR. And for a while, I think when they were offering TR, they were using the newer stuff. I don't think they did use the old batch.
Yeah, I don't know.
For some reason, I don't think they did. If that's the case, then I actually... didn't mind the new TR. I think I even did some Inktwell reviews with it. I think keyword there being think. I've also slept since then, and yeah. So I don't know. Bank paper is just one of those things where I'm actually going to feel more. I'm actually going to feel that hit more than the TR kerfuffle, because bank paper really was my favorite journaling paper. And even though I like the Midori Cotton notebook I'm currently using for my journal, I still like going back to my current bank paper notebook just to jot down ideas, or when I'm editing Expanding Beyond, which I'll be editing that today when I get back from voting in the grocery store. I take notes on what I'm doing in the edit, and I prefer doing that type of work in a bank paper notebook. And with bank paper going away, like I said, I'm really feeling like I don't want to... I mean, paper is paper, and paper eventually goes away. But I don't want to waste some of the best paper I've ever written on.
Yeah, I mean, but on the other hand, right, if you keep it for too long and the conditions aren't perfect, then it's no good either, right? And if you have 3, then by then, I don't know, maybe there's new paper out there, or someone at least found some new paper that they could use to make notebooks out of it. So.
It's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't moments.
Yep.
Which is sad, but I don't know. No. I was going to say maybe someone will come up with a new paper that'll be just as good as bank paper, if not better. Like the same, not bank paper, but close enough to the feel of bank paper that you're like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. What was I worried about in the first place? But I don't see that happening, unfortunately. Bank paper, we will miss you. And actually, let's see. What is Masubi? Okay. Going to Masubi's website and looking at notebooks. Okay. Okay. So currently he's got the Hallis 90, the Rasa 83, Tomoe River S52, Cosmo Air 83, and the remaining stock of bank paper. Man, only $40 for a 224-page notebook. That's not bad. But I should probably be a good boy and not buy more notebooks right now. I really want to, but I probably shouldn't.
Maybe not, no.
No. Yeah. Good times. Let's go ahead and swing it around to an interesting topic. So you posted a picture on Mastodon.
Yeah. I did, yeah. Yeah, so my wife went to Greece maybe 2 weeks ago and brought back some mastic liquors, so small bottles from various brands. And then I saw one of the bottles and I thought, that bottle looks familiar. And then I dug around and found one of my Diamine Shimmer ink bottles.
They look exactly the same.
And I put them next to each other and they are exactly the same. So
that is nuts.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me the bottle on the right was liquor and I didn't zoom in on it to actually see where it says liquor.
I mean, there could be a I don't know, teal ink called Mastic Tears, right? I mean,
there could
someone
be.
needs to make that, yeah.
Right. There could be a teal ink named Mastic Tears. Somebody get on that now. But the fact that you could mistakenly ink up your pen on the right and drink the left and not even realize it, because if you're just going by feel of the bottle, they are exactly the same.
That's true.
And a lot of times when I'm inking up my pens, I'm going by feel of the bottle. Which, that's how when I was cleaning out my pens, I ended up drinking ink. I know you said you're not much into the liquors, but how did that stuff taste?
We didn't try that yet. I mean, mastic is, I mean, it is sort of a tree sap, and it sort of tastes like it. I don't like it that much. So
tree sap.
My wife. Yeah, it's like from the mastic tree. It grows on one Greek island only. No one has ever managed to grow the trees somewhere else.
Okay, that seems weird.
Yeah, somehow it needs this perfect condition on Chios. I mean, I believe they tried in a few places, but they never managed to get them to survive anywhere else. And it is a traditional. It is used in traditional Greek cuisine, in some of the desserts, but sometimes also normal food. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
Okay. I was trying to see if somebody made an equivalent with like a pine tree and just made alcohol from the pine tree sap.
No, I think it's just the flavor. It's just the flavoring.
Oh, okay. Because apparently somebody on Reddit actually made 130 proof alcohol with pine resin. That's got to be some good moonshine.
I guess. Yeah, I mean it's super strong, the taste, so you really only need a bit. And it's sort of also used for chewing gum in Greece, and you can use something. It doesn't easily dissolve in water, but if you add a bit of liquid, it sort of becomes almost a bit like a chewy paste, and you can also put that in a glass of water and sort of it was one of the classic desserts, I think, for kids in early days, called the U-boat in Greek. For some reason, you have a sort of a spoonful of that stuff, and you put it into a glass of water, and then you sometimes eat a bit of it. I don't like it.
and call it a U-boat.
Yeah.
How do we go from tree resin to German submarine warfare? How does that work?
I don't know. Maybe it's a submarine. I don't know. It's just.
Oh boy. So I'm almost tempted to see how much that would cost you to send that bottle to me so I could drink it. Oh, I'm very tempted. You have no idea because you've got my interest piqued. Would I be able to actually get that here? Mastic Tears.
I mean, there's many different ones. I think I've brought back 4 or 5 different mastic liquors.
The problem with Oklahoma is they have a rule with alcohol that every liquor store in the state has to order their stock from what are called wholesalers. And there's only a small handful of wholesalers for the entire state. And they collude with each other, no matter what they want to say. They collude with each other to determine what comes into the state. And they are assholes about it. So we occasionally miss out on really good stuff because they just don't want it in the state, and they can make that rule.
Prohibition never fully disappeared, I guess.
Yeah, depending on where you are. Okay, so it would be a royal pain in the ass to get it in Oklahoma, apparently. Yay. Mm-hmm. That kind of reminds me of just weird alcohols like that. There's a coffee liqueur that you can get on cruise ships, but it's really hard to find on dry land. Sheridan's coffee liqueur.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. Let me grab the Wikipedia link. Yeah, when the liqueur has a Wikipedia link, you know there's something up with it. But there you go. That is some of the best liqueur I have ever had. Mm-hmm. Don't know why it's such a pain in the ass to get here, but it really is. It is just perfect.
Sheridan's coffee liqueur.
Mm-hmm.
€13.50 for a bottle of half a liter online.
Yep.
Here.
And the way the double spout is, that's the cool thing about the bottle. It does have a double spout.
Mm-hmm.
So to get that pour, like you see on the Wikipedia picture, it's really easy to do. And yeah, just good coffee liqueur.
Okay.
Note to self, I probably should not be looking at liqueurs. Nope. Close that window. Yes, close that window. Yeah, we may talk offline about that Mastic Tears. Mm-hmm. We may talk about that because I may bribe you considerably to make that magically disappear and reappear. We may have to look into what needs to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like I said, today was going to be a little bit of a quick one. I have to head to the post office and then head to my early polling location so I can get my butt in line before the polls close so I can actually do my vote today instead of on Tuesday because, yay, early voting stipulations. Yay. Mm-hmm. So we will make sure that the next episode is actually more of a proper length.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys for tuning in with us. I really felt like we needed to at least get our statement on that whole Goulet kerfuffle out the window, out the door, because we've been holding on to that now for 2 months?
I don't know how long, but it's longer than we wanted it to.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, between like your family having some vacation, sickness, holiday, me having some sickness, random, unexplained, wait a second, I have to work on Saturdays. We just ended up delaying because, well, hey, when you're running a podcast and both hosts are on opposite ends of the world, scheduling can sometimes suck.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I mean, we almost made it to 60 episodes, which is already pretty good, I guess.
And we'll make sure that we actually get an episode out in December. I am saying that now. It is on record. we will have a December episode, even though I'm starting another podcast, which we will talk about that probably on the next episode, because doing podcasts that are hosted on both YouTube and Apple, or just in general, is a whole different workflow that I don't wish on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be fun. But that's a topic for next time. Urban, nice talking to you again. I will catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.